Okay, much better.
Hello,
Hello.
everybody. We are in. Christian's just figured out his audio issues about 2 seconds before we went live, so that's always great timing.
Great
We are
timing.
here, of course, for the Central Coast Mariners Asian Champions League Elite game against Kevin Muscat, Shanghai Port. Hopefully, you'll notice a few upgrades to the live stream. We hope you enjoy them. I'm going to show off my first little one now. Obviously, see the frame, but I've got. Bang, there you go. Little smooth transition. We got the windows, we got the graphics. Hope you like the thumbnails. There's plenty to talk about. Of course, it's a massive game for the Mariners. 1 point for Shanghai Port so far in the first two match days of competition. The Mariners have zero. I'm joined by Jacob Stevens and Christian Montagan tonight. Jacob, massive game for the Mariners, hopefully getting points on the board finally.
Huge game and against arguably the toughest competition so far for them. So it's going to be a real ask for them to get points. A tough away trip, off the back of a not fantastic performance against the Victory. They're going to have to dig deep and find something to win this one because, they've not looked tremendous so far from what we've seen. There's been passages of play where they've looked good, but for the most part, it's been pretty lackluster and. It's massive points for them today. They're going to need to, get everything that they can out of this game because starting off as they have done, it's not fantastic. And Shanghai Port, as you mentioned, they've only got one point as well. So they're going to be looking to get a win here and try and boost their points tally up a bit as well. So it's going to be a fascinating game, I'm sure.
Now, Christian, for my second buttery smooth transition, as Clutch coined it in the chat, going to move across. We've got a table here. Whoa, look at that. For the east side of the ACL Elite, you can see Shanghai Port down there at the bottom, towards the bottom, with the Central Coast Mariners. And from once when we hear about Kevin Muscat and how he's going in China for a lot of the season, it's been very positive, and he has been winning a lot of games. His team's been scoring a lot of goals. They've actually just slipped up in the league as well. They lost to a rival, and they've actually dropped down to second place in the CSL with 2 games to go. So, as much as the Mariners are having a rocky start to their A-League season, Shanghai and Kevin Muscat are having a rocky finish to their Chinese Super League season.
Yeah, and I guess for as well as they've been playing the whole season, that they've scored so many goals. Vince McGurry wrote an article a couple of months ago saying that they're the highest scoring team in the world, let alone Asia. So they've been absolutely killing it on that front. But I guess it's expected that you're going to see a slight drop off when you're performing so well, so consistently week in week out, especially as the legs begin to tire. Asian Champions League football starts to come into the equation. This will be the third game now of this phase, so it's starting to catch up on them a bit. Shanghai Shenhua obviously overtaking them now, 1 point ahead with 2 games to go. So this might act for Shanghai Port as not a revenge game because the Mariners sort of don't have nothing to do with the Chinese Super League, but in a way, it's for Shanghai. It's just a matter of venting their frustration on the Mariners after that tough loss to say, okay, we're going to get back on track here at home in front of our home fans. We need to get 3 points here because I believe they lost their last game in the Champions League. I think it might have been 3-0. If
Sounds about
memory
right, yeah.
if memory serves me correct. I forgot who was against. It was away from home. It was a tough trip, but they definitely want to respond and bounce back as well in the Champions League, let alone in their domestic competition. So a lot for them to prove, and we know their quality. They're attacking third. Got Oscar, Gustavo, all these players. Wu Lee, he missed the game against the Socceroos, so we didn't get to see much of him during the international break. But they've got so much quality, so much talent, and for the Mariners, I do worry for them a bit. Interesting to see how they approach it in the first 45 minutes, how they approach it tactically. Mark Jackson, but no, it should be an intriguing watch.
You mentioned his name there, Christian, and I'm going to call him our player to watch in terms of the Shanghai Port side of things. It's Oscar, the Brazilian. He's been in China for 8 seasons now. He's 33 years old, of course, former Premier League winner and Europa League winner as well. In his 8 years in the CSL, he scored 57 goals and got 92 assists. So he's clearly the provider in this team. In terms of this season, it's 13 goals, 19 assists, which is kind of ridiculous, Jacob.
Yeah.
He seems to be finding his teammates further up the field quite often.
Yeah, he's been fantastic. I don't think there's much more you could say about it, to be honest. Yeah, 8 seasons. It feels like it's been longer than that he's been
Yeah.
he's been there. Like he was one of those first ones really to first big names to make the move across to China.
The OG
And
Saudi Arabia.
that's right, that's right. And well, I mean, we've seen how it's panned out for the most part there. It's not been, fantastic. And yeah, Oscar's one of the few that has made a decent I don't know what to say. He's had decent performances, right? Like
Yeah.
he's continued to perform to a really high level and a high standard. He's not just there for the paycheck, which, I think is what the problem is with a lot of those, formerly those Chinese ones, and now in Saudi Arabia and stuff, where it's they're going to chase and get that final big payday. Well, whereas Oscar's like, oh well, if I'm going to be on the pitch, I might as well play well as well. It's there's no point in looking bad and not doing a good job. And the fact that he's still going and still creating chances, finishing chances, at the rate that he is pretty fantastic. And yeah, he's going to be a huge threat, especially considering some of the issues that the Mariners have faced. He's going to be really, I think, quite dominant centrally, where the Mariners looked a little bit off against the Victory. They didn't quite have that presence in the midfield. I think that he might find, a lot of good stuff in the center of the park today. And so, it's obviously going to be, he'll be a player that, the Mariners will have circled out and gone, right, we need to make sure that we're focusing on him today because he is going to be a key player for them. So, we might see him double teamed and things just to try and take him out of the game a little bit. But no, he's going to have a huge impact, I'm sure.
All right, well, let's have a look at the starting lineup, Christian, for the Mariners. Now, not a lot of change from what we saw in their opening game of the A-League against the Victory, sorry. Of course, the interesting points are Perrette Cullen in goals. He performed quite well. He holds his spot. And then Bradley Tapp having to deputise as a centre-back whilst Trent Sainsbury is injured. Apart from that, pretty standard around the field. But these two up top as well, Quoll and Edmondson, not the kind of Nisbet midfielder that kind of steps up in terms of like being a front two in the press. It's two out-and-out strikers as well.
Yeah, it is. And I guess from that approach, you'd expect Edmondson in particular to try and hold up the ball a bit. Even Quoll as well. He's a big body there as well. Just try and find that link up play because in the campaign, the Asian Champions League, the past two games that they've played, the problem hasn't been getting to the final third. It's about what they do after that. And they've just broken down so many times. So they're able to get numbers forward. That's no issue for them. And I thought, against the Victory is probably one of their worst ones before the red card happened in terms of, actually progressing and getting the ball forward. Because Victory, we can all agree, sort of dominated proceedings up until Miranda got sent off. But in the Champions League, they haven't actually been too bad. It's just that final ball, the end product, Jake has mentioned a couple of times as well, it just breaks down too easily. So it's when they get to that point, how do they utilize the ball? How do they make, the most of every possession? Because they can't give away cheap turnovers like they did against the Victory on Friday night. That just won't cut it against the Shanghai Port side. They'll absolutely shred you to pieces. So it's just about getting that balance right. And, if they settle into the game the first 15 to 20 minutes, then perhaps we do have a game on our hands. But I think it does depend on those early moments to really see how this game is going to be dictated.
Yeah, I'm actually interested that, Mark Jackson has persisted with the two up top because it was something that in the Victory game perhaps wasn't quite as successful as he would have liked and that Mariners fans would have liked and the team would have liked. They were sort of used very interestingly as well. They sat quite wide in build-up and then long balls were just played over the top towards them. And the idea was that the midfield isn't going to create much. McCalmont and Steele, they're great players, but they're not those sort of progressive passers or ball carriers or anything like that in the centre of the park. So, it was going to have to be a lot of stuff direct and a lot of stuff out wide. So, yeah, Quoll and Edmondson almost sort of took up the role as wingers in build-up. And it wasn't particularly successful against the Victory. And it was something that Will actually pointed out, and he said, I'd be surprised if he goes back to having two strikers in the starting 11. And well, I hope you're surprised, Will, because that's exactly what he's done here.
Yes, hello to everyone who is watching the stream at home as well. I know Will's coming in and out. He's had a bit, maybe he's working or something like that. I'm not too sure. We seem to be getting a little bit of a light. He's a fake fan, not watching his team. We're getting a little bit of a light show over there in Shanghai. A
Oh.
little interesting. Although, from a brief glance at the stadium, the crowd size doesn't look too dissimilar,
Too
to an
dissimilar.
Australian Champions League game.
It's only against the Mariners. It's no big deal for them.
It's not a big game.
Nah.
Anyway, the teams are walking out. It appears we're almost ready to go. Hello to Clutch in here as always. We appreciate your company, mate. For some reason, the American always popping up. Loving Australian football. Still don't completely understand, but we're grateful to have you.
I mean, there are those of us that like our American sports. So I suppose it's like kind of
That is
goes
true.
both
That is true.
ways, you know.
Jacob, do you want to tilt... sorry, not Jacob. Christian, you want to tilt your camera down a little bit? Hold on, we're going to get this frame. There we go. Look at that lovely framing.
Easy.
All right, team's coming out. Almost ready for kickoff.
Look at the scarves and the Shanghai fans. The Stand By Me song playing.
Do you reckon they sing Super Kevin Muscat as well?
Yeah, probably in the Chinese version they would, yeah.
God, that is empty.
Yeah, it's not pretty viewing.
That's funny. We usually see really big crowds in these away Champions League games.
That is
Yeah.
empty. Like that's like what you'd expect for a pre-season friendly, not
Maybe they're going on
competitive
strike
fixture.
after their loss on the weekend. I don't know.
Maybe it's a Suncorp Stadium situation. Like, it actually looks okay, but...
It doesn't look okay from here.
Well, no, sorry. It actually is okay,
looks
but it doesn't
terrible,
look okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I've not missed him. Jeez.
Muskie.
Yeah. Although I do kind of miss hating him, so that's, you know.
You miss hating him.
I sent Vinny Arada a good luck message before the game. He said,
Did ya?
thank you. Yeah. He'll be on the bench today as one of the assistants, one of the Aussies. Got obviously Ross Aloisi there as well. Big Aussie contingent.
Yes, true. Yeah, you're right. It's not just Kevin Muscat. Will says, don't worry, I'll be watching the game. Just can't take Christian's awful takes distracting me from my uni work.
What's this? The Wanderers to finish first.
Oh dear, you're still sticking by that after the weekend?
I'm not going to deter away from just because of one game. And it was a derby as well, arguably the best team. Like, I could have easily chosen Sydney to win it, but I just wanted to go for a bit of a different approach. You know, I predicted Sydney second, victory third. It's not, you know, that big of an outlier. I just thought I'd pop in Wanderers to make first and, I don't know, make a bit of a statement of my prediction.
Yeah, fair enough. Do we have any score predictions for tonight's game?
Do we have to be brutally honest? Or
Yeah, I think the Mariners are going to lose by a few goals.
Yeah, I think it's going to be probably 3-0 to Shanghai Port.
I'm maybe 4-1 Shanghai Port. I'll give Mariners a goal, but yeah, it might be a whitewash this one, unfortunately.
I'm going to say 2-0. I think Shanghai have a couple of important games coming up, so if they're 2-0 up by, say, the 60th minute, we could see a lot of their stars come off. All right. Lineups are being shown on the screen anytime you want, fellas. We were there 5 minutes ago, but sure. If that's how you want to run your show.
Give us the broadcast rights at this point, please.
Nah, good fun having Champions League football back. Sydney FC tomorrow night as well.
Yeah.
Will says 9-1 Mariners.
Okay, mate.
Clutch, do you have a prediction, mate? What do you reckon?
On the lineup, it actually has Oscar more in a central role in midfield, and I forgot who it was. It was a Gustavo in that sort of number 9, false 9 role. And I'm assuming Oscar's going to push up a bit more, but
Well, that's what I would like. That's why I'm thinking. Like, I don't think the Mariners midfield isn't going to be perhaps good enough that you might find a lot of luck just dropping a little bit deeper and getting involved earlier on rather than being the focal point of the attack, because I think that he can probably feast a little bit in the middle of the park. So it'll be interesting to see what he does, whether it is a bit deeper or whether he leads the line or.
yeah.
Still says Mariners 2-0, easy win. There's Super Kev on the sideline. I missed you.
Did you see the post game interview? You know how they have got the press conferences a day or two beforehand. They had Mark Jackson and McCallum both in there, and they didn't ask any questions. To them.
They
It
didn't
was
get
just
any questions.
The moderator asked them a question each, and after, do you have any questions? And there was nothing. Okay, press conference is
Yeah.
over.
That's great.
Very nice. All right. Teams are set. Mariners have the kickoff. Oh, that's a nice referee kit.
What, black?
Yeah, clean black though. Like no messing around, like no silly trims, like the absolute rubbish we saw in the A-League this weekend.
That was pretty woeful.
No peach color.
Yeah, that peach is just awkward. The black with the fluoro like trim, that looked good. All right, kickoff, we're underway.
Long ball number 1. There we go.
We're going to see a lot of those, aren't we?
I think so.
Have you already kicked off? I must be behind a bit.
Finally.
Oh, first time.
Refresh. Okay, I'm on 19 seconds now.
Same.
Yeah, me too.
Perfect.
Okay, synced up hopefully for once.
For probably about 2 minutes.
Caitlin says, help, does anyone know where I can watch the game? I'm in Prague and Paramount won't work with a VPN.
Oh,
Well, Clutch, I know you're, again, in a hypothetical world, experienced with these nefarious means. Did you say Japan was good? Or was that for the A-League? I can't remember. I'm not sure.
I think you might have
Although,
said that.
yeah. Clutch, you were saying you couldn't actually find a way to watch this, could you?
yeah, I think he was saying that it's going to be relying on us, which is a terrifying thought. But
Unfortunately, we can't stream it on our phone for him for legal reasons.
Exactly, yes. Oh, giving the ball
sorry.
straight away to Oscar.
See,
Gee,
just
what's
turnovers like
that?
that, you know.
I don't want to go too crazy too early, but back to in possession. So
I know, yeah.
I'm actually I've been writing my talking tactics piece today, and the two things that I've focused on from this week's games are long balls and back threes. And so it's interesting to see now that they're going with the back two.
Are you doing a tactical analysis for the whole round or like a game in particular?
Just a couple of things.
Oh,
that
it's
I
one
know.
Oh my
wow.
god.
Oh my god.
Could we have lasted 2 minutes?
Just too easy for
Yeah,
him.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
That looked like a Perth Glory defending man there. That was just flat-footed, just... Whoa.
Jeez.
How on earth do the Mariners even begin to try and claw their way out of this league phase now?
But how did that corner enter in the first place? Because of a stupid turnover.
Oh, it was
from
horrible.
defense.
But not even
It
the
was just-
turnover. It was then a
clearance
loose
then
ball
was
from
terrible,
Oscar,
yeah.
and the clearance could have gone literally anywhere, and he's put it out for a corner.
Yeah.
Flick on, header.
2 missed runners there. They've just lost the runners in this. That front post run's really good, but the second guy's he's just standing there, and you've got Caltac and is that Storm Rue just standing around in front of him. Come on, boys.
That's bad.
That's
Not good.
Not good at all.
Will Booth, 9-1 Shanghai.
Well, no, that's their one goal, Will. So, now
Yeah.
Mariners are going to go and score 9. Easy.
God, Will's smart, isn't he? He neglects the games that he knows that his team's going to lose. Doesn't want to join the live stream, but for the games he knows they've got a good chance, he'll join. Sneaky bugger.
Can I just say, though, that this is very much so far, this campaign for the Mariners has been very old school A-League teams in the Champions League type of campaign, where it's just been incredibly lackluster and not very good at all.
Can I just say, so hypothetically, obviously the Mariners look like it's not going to be a good result here. 3 losses in a row. Where does that put them in terms of top 8? Is it still early days? Is it teetering towards, elimination talks?
I mean, no. I think you can still get 3 wins and be okay, right? Mathematically, that's the thing about this league. So 2 of the games are played in the new year as well, in February. Because they still go by the 6 games in this year. They the schedule is the same essentially. So, they could be a very different team in February or March or whenever they have to play the last 2 games in the league phase. They just need to pick up at least probably 4 points before then to have some semblance of a chance, right? Mm-hmm. So it's long, but man, they're making it so. I mean, this game, they're not supposed to win this game. They were never supposed to win this game. It was the Buriram game which they absolutely had to win.
Yeah. And they've even got Shanghai Shenhua as well.
Is that at home?
No,
Yeah.
at home.
I think that game might be at
They
home.
played them away
Yeah.
for the first
Because
match
I'm
day,
just
right?
trying to think. There's not many teams left that I consider, easy beats. Not that there are any, but ones that the Mariners generally feel as though they should be getting 3 points. Like it's thinning a bit.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? I mean, 12 teams in the East, they're all going to be good. And even the ones that we thought, or, like the Thailand team, I'll take you back very quickly to the ladder, which I could do if I had it queued up, but I don't. So I'm just
Another
padding a
pool.
Did
little
you see
bit.
that?
Yeah, that was really poor. Like that no excuses there. So much time on the ball. No real
Yeah,
press. It's going to flick it wide. Oh,
Out, goal kick, right? Yeah.
goal kick.
Meanwhile, I'm just destroying all of the pretty layouts I had.
but anyway, to answer the question that you had, Christian, before they scored, so it's just sort of like I just was like, well, here's a couple of things that I noticed from games throughout the week. You know, these little trends. Obviously the back three I've spoken about before, tons, but we saw 3 or 4 teams just kicking the ball long instead of trying to play out or through a press or anything like that. So I just thought, they're little interesting things.
Don't give too many spoilers away.
Well, yeah.
But it's just your general observation, I guess, of the round.
Yeah, sometimes it might just be there's one game in particular that's really interesting, so I'll look at that, or whatever. But just sort of depends what happens in each round.
Yeah. Well, your Popper one blew up a couple of weeks ago, so mate,
did.
it's in demand.
It did.
It's in
It
demand.
is in
for
demand.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I've got the lineup back on here. So this is an in possession kind of shape for the Mariners. So as Jacob's saying, you got the 2 centre backs and then both full backs going up the line, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the central midfield is kind of in the hole there as well.
And it's very much a pivot midfield as well. I've noticed where, if like typically a 1-and-1 rather than having a double pivot, it's one pushes up, one stays back, one pushes up, one stays back.
Yeah, it's usually McCalmont in the hole, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably going to be more like that. So there you go. These are where you get your 2-3 from.
Even away from home, a couple of draws, it becomes critically vital when it gets to the latter stages to at least pick up those couple of points, and then you just keep chasing, and it just becomes harder and harder.
Well, let's take it back to the ladder here. So, the Mariners, they're already, what is that? 3 point. Maybe after match day 2, they're 4 points away from the cutoff, depending on how results go, right? So. You're already just.
Are they not already singing last place or second last?
Second last on goal difference.
Ulsan are worse with shipping goals.
Ulsan.
Yeah.
Is that game home or away? That Ulsan game.
They don't play the Korean teams.
No.
Oh, that's right. Sorry, they don't play Korean teams.
They're the ones they skip. Yeah. But you look at that, the 2 top teams are Guangzhou, but then you have Johor, who were the Malaysian team. They're the one team from Malaysia that qualified.
Yeah.
And so we're saying, well, if only one team's qualified, then maybe they're a weaker nation. But it turns out the team's quite good. And then there's the same with Buriram there as well from Thailand.
Yeah.
So it's very tricky. Aaron Hedges says, this is what happens when a weakened squad plays in an increased league. Mariners can't afford playing these games anyways, financially or physically. You're exactly right. The financial situation has changed a little bit. The Mariners should profit from this competition no matter what happens with the increased prize money for the ACL Elite. But yes, the thing is they're going to play 8 games. It's going to affect their fatigue levels. It's going to, make their domestic form suffer as well. I know we saw them do the treble last year, but, argument would say that they would have done it easier if they didn't have the AFC Cup, right? So they're going to struggle. I'm feeling pretty good about having them in 8th at the moment.
Initially, I did have them a bit lower in my predictions, but I thought I'm just too scared to doubt them that much to put them in 10th position because it feels too disrespectful because of what they achieved last season.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's so hard to look away from that. But at the same time, early signs indicate it's
Caltac, what are you doing?
Good recovery, but
oh jeez, Mariners. We're not even 10 minutes in yet.
He's supposed to be the most experienced player in the back line, and he's doing that.
So that's why I'm
He's not
saying I'm
been
worried
good
about
this
their lack of
pre-season.
leadership.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's really not been very good. Like he's made a lot of mistakes. It's good hold up play from Quoll, but where does he go now? Like he has to play it back.
Do you reckon Mark Jackson had offers after last season?
Probably
I
not.
reckon he did.
Surely he would have, right?
From other A-League clubs. I don't know. I don't know if like
Ooh, good defending.
we've certainly not heard anything.
I just think like, we talk about A-League being a development league. It is for coaches as well.
Yeah.
And he got kicked out of League One, League Two, somewhere in the Football League. Got picked up here. You've won the treble. You can't back that up. I know they're going into this competition, but you have to know that this is a different kettle of fish. Like, surely your stock's never going to be higher for a move away.
No, definitely. I would have thought maybe somewhere like Scotland or somewhere like that, like similar to Nick Montgomery, would have been interested. Maybe some second division clubs in Europe were after him and he didn't want to make that jump. He wanted a first division or something a bit more challenging in that respect. Otherwise, he would have said, okay, I'm just going to stay in the A-League for another season and then reassess my offers at season's end. Maybe that was the case.
And they got him really early in off season, didn't they?
They did,
Like it was like a week or two after they finished. So there was no chance to like gauge exactly how many players you're going to lose and what your squad might look like.
I was going to ask you both as well. Do you think Mark Jackson's the type of coach who would have the courage to drop a player like Caltech if he keeps underperforming this season, or you don't think so?
It depends if it gets to the point where he has to.
Not just
Like,
not just Caltech, a few other players as well. If he sees, okay, my more experienced ones who I relied upon so much last season aren't cutting it for me this time around, am I brave enough to make those changes and maybe play a bit more of the youngsters if things do get a bit dire and change it up a bit?
It's not necessarily like a courage issue either. Like, you got no Trent Sainsbury. As again, I keep talking about the leadership in the back line. Who is going to organise the back four without Caltech? Like who? Like
Vukovic
if he's not,
as well is a big out there in terms of his experience with being the rock behind that back line and helping them out with their shape and stuff.
You got to have one of your three in terms of goalkeeper and your two central defenders be a strong presence in the change room. Like just full stop, and be able to organise, even if it's not like the club captain outright. Just someone who can organise and be vocal. And if you take Caltech out, you got no one.
Yeah.
I think you just got to back him to turn his form around at some point.
Multi-ball.
No rules on FC.
That pitch looks awful.
Bit muddy, eh?
Yeah, with the zoom in, it looks terrible.
It's like an amateur league pitch. I know that's a lie because you can actually see the lines. So. That's well won, and then that's just immediately lose the ball again. Good play.
Go on, Qual.
That's where you need to break.
Get it, Facial, go!
Play him.
Come on.
It's a decent
Go
ball.
on, son.
Just take him on.
Take him on.
Beat your man, cut inside, hit it.
Or a bit of trickery.
Too
he's done
slow.
one too- That's a Will on rush move. That just doing one too many.
You just got to run quick, so if you can cut inside like that, then like the second defender can't get you.
Yeah.
Like he was too slow.
It's utter woke nonsense that wingers don't take on their man anymore.
Stop bringing that face into the
You've
live
used that
stream now,
meme
Jacob.
so many times.
It is though. It's just take on your man. That's your job as a winger.
All right, at least they're building a bit more possession now.
Got to turn inside. Like having a two-man midfield is hampering them so much here because they just cannot get anything going. Because look at it, it's 2v4 in the middle every single time. They have.
Go on, Docker, find him. Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Sprightly.
It's a good hit from that angle.
Go on, Fei Xiao.
Well won.
Oh, that's a great pass. Go on, McCalmont.
Fantastic.
Ooh,
Corner.
How does the ref say from that angle? A couple of great through balls in there, or cutting passes in the box to, to create those chances, which is, positive, obviously. The A-League's official page on social media has said that the game started between Shanghai and Central Coast. Should I add a comment in saying to join the live stream feed of Round Ball Chat?
Get up in the replies. Go on. Jeez, Moranga's just bombing forward whenever they pick up the ball. I guess it's his job, eh?
When it gets to
Playing
around
side,
here,
yes, good ball.
it breaks down. Again, like, the same old story. Nice tackle.
Great challenge.
Who is that?
Well done.
Steele. Bradley Steele.
Harry Steele.
Harry, sorry. Bradley Tapp.
Yeah.
They are sitting off, like Shanghai is sitting off them a little bit in midfield.
Mm.
Go on, just build into it.
You can see what's going to happen, though, can't you? Mariners going to have a few clear-cut chances that they don't convert. Shanghai hit them with the second and game over. It's just written all over it. Got to convert one of these early chances if they do get one.
Yeah, the if
like,
being the big word there.
Yeah, I like to see Qual get involved a bit more on the ball.
He's just not looked very.
He
dynamic.
needs to just. I was about to say he just needs to look for it a bit more. He just looks a bit too stagnant.
Oh, go on.
Drive.
Hit it again. Hit it again.
Drive, son.
Oh.
Keep it in Edmondson. Well done. Nice.
Oh, I think you got to give it to Fei
Get
Xiao
out the way, ref.
McCalmon's getting forward, having a few shots.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a nice.
See,
header.
this is just them getting targeted in that left back slot again in the counter.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus
Oh, what a ball.
Christ.
Great ball.
Wow.
They actually just couldn't finish their dinner.
They didn't even try. It just kept taking touches.
How good was that cross, though? That was pinpoint accuracy.
Docker's upset with a few people.
Is Docker going to score another penalty away from home and shush the fans
In China.
in China?
That's a fantastic.
What is
cross.
Storm Rue doing?
What? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, also, what was Brad Tapp doing there? Just sort of running to no man's land.
They look a very frustrated team at the moment, and it's not just tonight. It's a continuation of the last few weeks.
Yeah. That's the thing when you win everything there is to win. You set that expectation, and you'd start not winning, and a bit of a can be a bit problematic. This kit does look like they've just got a big band of duct tape around their middle.
They're not even getting any money from a shirt sponsor.
Yeah.
Still, surely someone's interested.
Why would you want to sponsor this?
We'll pay him a tenner. We'll give him a tenner.
there we
Get
go.
our logo
Yeah.
on the front.
I thought that went in for a second. It's one of those deceiving ones.
That ball did not rotate a full orbit, Jacob. That's the rule, right? It has to. Oh, okay. Maybe it did actually.
It did, yeah.
It looked a bit bigger.
Yeah, it wasn't one of those ones where he just touches it with his studs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ambitious.
Willing keeps. Oh dear.
Could be a long night.
That midfield 2 actually looks quite flat. Oh, they're going to the
Isn't it?
3. There you
Yeah,
go.
got the 3 at the back now. Yeah, that'll be why.
Was that from the outset, or did they just move to that after going 1-0 down?
No, they've just changed that now.
Just
I'm going
moved
to
it,
move
yeah.
things around. Although, interestingly, Moragas was on the
What
bottom
a
of that.
ball!
Or
Oh, yeah, it's just easy for them. Look at how, like, they're not misplacing their passes. Crosses a perfect weight. The movement. That's the main thing, right? Is the movement. Mariners look so static going forwards. But Shanghai are making all different types of runs and things, just trying to keep the
Yeah.
defenders on their toes. There's a long ball. That's number. I don't know. I've lost count already.
Oof.
Oh, ho,
I
ho.
thought that was it was from behind, I guess, but
I don't really know what I'm doing here. I'm going to bring us back. I'm just fiddling.
just give the tools to Jacob.
I wish. I honestly wish I could. But I don't know how I'd fit that into OBS. I honestly
Yeah.
have no idea.
Just give me remote access to your computer and.
No, that's no way. Not you. Character like you.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, go on, Facial.
Oh,
Why are you not running towards the
too
ball?
heavy.
I felt like he. Oh, okay.
He felt like
Maybe
he
I'm
ran
just-
across, like
Yeah.
around. Here, we're watching the replay. Yeah, sort of.
A little bit.
Yeah.
But maybe he's trying to get his hips open so he can shoot. I'm being picky for being picky's sake.
Yeah.
I gotta ease up a little bit.
Surely that was
Oh, he's
offside.
through.
Was that not offside?
Learn how to tackle.
Good pressure.
Yeah, offside.
It was. It's really crazy that Oscar's been there 8 years. I know we talked about this pre-game. But
Yeah.
was that how long his initial contract was? Does anyone remember?
Oh, was he on a Chelsea contract? Was he? It's like sign your life away.
What do you mean initial contract?
There's Kev and Ross.
When he first signed for Shanghai.
Yeah,
Wait,
they're just
an
the
eight-
first.
An 8-year contract. You're talking about no extensions.
Uh,
Well, I was just wondering.
There would have been extensions somewhere.
Probably,
Surely.
but who knows?
could have been one of those like 10-year long ones.
I've never seen one of those in football ever.
Well, we've seen 8 years now.
Yeah. 2-5.
I just wondered because obviously he was signed, as you say, Jacob, in like the early era of those Chinese signings, where they were just throwing money. But then was it like a luxury tax or something came in, so you had to pay twice the amount in terms of tax, something like that. I wonder if that impacts any contract extensions, which would have like incentivized moving away, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Monique says, "Good evening, gentlemen." Hello, Monique. Have you found a way to watch the game? Get old Paramount Plus exclusive tonight. Oh, that's a bad
Ooh,
challenge.
That's,
Dangerous
that's a
tackle.
yellow card.
I
That's
thought,
a yellow. Yeah.
Super Kev.
I was going to say, he knows what it's like to get a few of those.
Super
He knows
Kev
what
was
it's like
having-
to give him as well.
And yeah.
He was having a go at Moragas then on the touch.
Super Kevin Muscat. Yeah, that's a yellow card.
So late. Well, they've already been feasting against Moraga, so now that he's on a yellow as well, it's going to
Yeah.
he's going
Yeah.
to have to play even more passive. That's well won by Stormberry.
So, okay, here you go. I have figured out one tactical thing. It seems that out of possession now, it's not just a flat 4-4-2, as you say. In build up, one of the midfielders go high and low. They're doing the same here.
Yeah.
So it's more like a diamond in midfield when they're pressing. Well, they're not even pressing. It's kind of like a mid.
They're not really doing much of a press, to be honest.
Yeah. It's like, let's just
They
be
were
there.
to start with, and
Let's let them know we're here.
yeah.
And that's kind of what it looks like at the moment off the ball. Monique says, no, I haven't found somewhere to watch, which is strange as all the other AFC games I can get on YouTube over here. Really? Is it the Champions League Elite, Champions League 2, the national teams? Which ones can and can't you get? I wonder if all the Champions League 2 ones are up. But not the Elite.
Well, all I'll say is you're not missing much.
No, you're not. Oof, jeez. Someone just landed on top of him, yeah.
Someone did land on top of him.
Still down.
Ball went out anyway.
Oh, geez, here's a doozy. Monique says, any ideas on what the APL could do so we can be more competitive in this competition? I think with budget and late season start, it's a hard push for A-League teams. Yeah.
Yeah. I think the big thing is money, right? Is that if the teams have more money, they could have better squads and they could compete with these sorts of sides. But, you know.
I think that... Yeah, go on.
Even the ones from these smaller nations have more money in football than Australia does. You know, it's yeah, okay, they might not be from leagues that are as recognizable or, you know, anything like that as the A-League is, but they have more money still. You know, and I think that's really the big killer, is that these teams just don't have a lot of money, and where they can do well in the slightly lower grade competition, as the Mariners did in the AFC Cup, stepping up to play the best of the best, it's a really tough ask. You see it even with the European Champions League, right? Those smaller teams that do occasionally make it through. I'm not quite sure how...
that wasn't a foul?
That wasn't called. But yeah, I mean, you do see it in the European Champions League when the smaller teams occasionally qualify through and then they just get trounced, and it's the same sort of thing there, in that it's these smaller budgets, you just can't really compete. It's that
as well, and also I think the ideal solution would be to align the season with all the other Asian leagues, but that's obviously not possible with the NPL, the Australia Cup.
Here we go. Here's a good break.
Well, hold on. You say that, Christian. Japan or Korea, I can't remember which one. One of them have committed to moving to our timeline in like 2 to 3, 4 years, something like that.
Have they provided a reason as to why?
To sync themselves with the AFC calendar, and the AFC is synced with the European calendar. So it's the over Christmas like season, so 24, 25, like over 2 years. That is the global standard. Yeah. And obviously it's just awkward for us because that's our summer. But this Champions League model used to be run from May to November or whenever it was, but now it's September to May. So everything's going towards that part of the year in global football. So I actually think, I know it's awkward in Australia again, but in terms of the A-League, that is one positive for having it there.
True.
I honestly just think, Monique, the long-term solution is just to build the financial stability of the A-League and then get to a point where you can be raising the salary cap up and it not, ruining the competitiveness of the A-League. And then the effect of that will be is that it's raising the floor of competition in the A-League, which will be better competitiveness and more money, etc., etc. But I think the reality is, if you are not Melbourne City, Melbourne Victory, Western Sydney, or Sydney FC, I think you're going to find it very difficult to win the Champions League Elite.
Great save.
Still in the box. Oh, they're just toying with him. Goal kick. And that's not to say that it is anyway easy for Victory City Wanderers or Sydney FC to win the Champions League, but they are the 4 clubs that if they do have success that enables them to qualify for this competition, they're not going to get their squad completely torn apart and have the resources to actually be able to replace some of these players with quality straight away. That's what I think.
It's what makes the Wanderers achievement, 10 years ago so remarkable. And the fact that they were such a new club, that was honestly one of the best feats in Australian sport.
Oh, go! Crowell's out.
On the break.
Get onside, Emerson.
What
Oh.
a waste.
So wasteful.
Cross for a shot.
Get it on target. That was a shot.
Yeah.
There was not a single thought of a cross in his head there. That's there what I was kind of talking about pre-game with how Jackson
that's
had
nothing.
them set up against the Victory where the 2 strikers were a bit wider and it's worked out there. Just ping the ball long and hope it falls to them.
Oh, jeez, he's free
Another good
again.
ball and another completely just missed runner.
But also, Maracas
on
has
the
got that
ranges.
player on the outside. Is that McCalmich?
Yeah. No, that's honestly, I don't know actually who. That's the problem, not knowing what the marking scheme is, whose responsibility it is.
They
Could be
might not
playing
know
with main
themselves,
mark.
to be honest.
Well, that's what it looks like, right? There's so many times that, that we've seen the Mariners now lose runners, not just in this game.
They look
but,
so scrambled and, they just, no organisation.
I think it is some sort of zonal thing. Just seeing the way seeing the way that Brad Tapp and Storm Brew sort of interchanged who they were marking. I think it's like a zonal thing, but that makes things complicated, right? Because it's not just here's your player, stick with them. It's your player could be one of these people if they come into this zone in this specific time. It does
challenge.
seem like things are getting a little bit
Right on.
Oh, go on,
Good
Maracas.
run.
Feijao. Give it wide. McCalmont. Oh, that's such a waste. Handball.
It's handball there.
Referee, excuse me?
And to be fair, he didn't call that foul earlier either, so...
With the handball rules now, haven't they told the A-League referees that if it becomes, straight off the hand without any real time to react, and they won't give it? I think that's going to be the consistent approach to it.
Well,
But in Asia, we know it can be a bit different.
As far as I'm aware, IFAB always had that as like a guide of like use common sense sort of thing of if it's been blasted at
Oh, Qual almost in behind, yeah.
Oof.
That almost went under the keeper.
Yeah.
Monique says a long-term plan from the APL? Question mark. I think honestly, the shift in direction from the APL has been very clear for the last 12 to 18 months, and a lot of the bad stuff that has been happening, I still maintain, is a direct result of errors that were made before their time, right? In terms of who's leading the APL at the moment. They're going to launch a new digital strategy in the coming weeks, which is really focused on kind of top funnel consumers. So getting people who are fans of football interested in the A-League and really widespread brand awareness. And then allowing the clubs to be the ones that then really nail home that fan experience. So I think everything we've seen out of the APL in the last 18 months has been encouraging, honestly.
Since Danny Townsend has left, you're saying?
That is a marker that is
what a
notable.
Coincidence.
Yes. But there's going to be some changes. So there's going to be an election of a new director, I believe, new board director in November.
Oh, they're going to the VAR, are they?
No, surely not. I can't give that as a penalty.
For what?
No,
for the
they're resetting it.
handball.
It wasn't off his
Feijao
hand.
Yeah.
put his arm out, but it didn't look like a
All
handball.
clear. But yeah, they're going to elect a new board director in November, and then I think they're going to bring in another independent director as well. So, yeah, I think it's all good. Monique also says, so Lockie, you support Arsenal.
Cut it back, cut
Oh.
it back.
And again.
Cut it back.
Ugh.
Oh, lack of vision is appalling.
Joey K, g'day mate, how you going? Personally, I reckon competing in Asia falls more on the clubs. Longer contracts solve so many problems. And that's what I really like seeing out of Adelaide United. You know, they're going to be able to sell these players on. And, you know, if they have their good players, like imagine if Central Coast had Josh Nisbet already tied down for another 3 years. They say, Josh, you know what? You actually haven't got an offer that you love. You're going to Scotland because it's the best one you have, but you don't really love it. Stay with us for another year. And if you get a good offer, we'll promise you can leave at the end of it, but come with us on this journey into the Champions League Elite and stay with us. You're 100% right, Joe.
And it's like, it's so low risk as well to get your younger players on these contracts, because it's not like they're going to be the top earners at your club, right? Like, so financially, it's not a huge risk to go, so what Adelaide have done, right? Identified 3 youngsters who are, because they've recently given one out to Ryan White. I think it was just yesterday they gave it out. Another 5-year contract, where it's like these guys are not combined, are not going to make what, you know, a Zach Clough or a Bart Vreens might be making. It's not a big financial contribution, and yet it could have these massive rewards if the players reach their full potential in the next 5 years, because there's that chance then to leverage that into a decent transfer fee. And
100%.
Alternatively, if they don't reach their full potential but they're still good, you've got them for 5 years. Like, you know, it's
We might even have a domestic transfer system by then. Or an NST for them to be loaned out into.
Yeah.
Oh, Stormroot.
Good ball. Oh,
Come on, Qual.
Turn.
Hit it.
Touch.
Oh.
That was such a clever backheel from Qual.
Yeah, that was good from Qual. Docker had a shot on goal, but it was saved well by the keeper. Best chance of the game there, Monique.
First touch let Qual down again, though.
For the Mariners.
Same thing against Victory. That's well done by Feijao to stay in there. Keep the ball, keep possession, recycle, go again. It's those balls in behind are looking good for the Mariners.
I don't know why, but Shanghai seem to be dropping deeper and deeper.
Yeah. They're giving them space in midfield, that's for sure. The back threes look so much better.
Yeah, agreed. Just having that extra option when the strikers do press makes life so much easier. Good ball, Caltac. Edmondson.
Ooh, close. They're building. Monique says,
Okay.
Monique says, agree, APL has definitely improved. I read about their TikTok strategy, which is good, as the algorithm is really clever and easy to expand on and retarget. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, TikTok's the prime one for that top funnel stuff, right? Just getting eyeballs. And then she also says, have you heard Farrell needs knee surgery? So he's out for a while, was hoping to see him at Portsmouth this month. That is unfortunate. He came on, he really impressed in his first game, didn't he? He almost had a chance of scoring. I think Portsmouth fans were quite happy with him.
That's a poor corner.
Ooh.
Oh.
Stevie Gerrard.
God. Will it result in a goal, though? That's the question.
Might result in a yellow. No.
Ooh.
Talking about longer term contracts and youth players, Jacob, when you recommended that the stat guide for the A-League, I went and had a look at it before, and I went to Melbourne Victory. Obviously, I'm a Melbourne Victory supporter, and I was looking through the youngest debuts for the club, and I realized, like, I always knew Victory didn't like to play youth players a lot like that. We've always gone for the more experienced players, whatever. There hasn't been a single player that has cracked into the top 10 of youngest debuts for Victory. Oh, geez, there's almost a goal for Shanghai there. Not a single player has cracked into the top 10 for youngest debuts for Victory in 4 years.
Yeah, that's crazy.
What? Jeez. Top 10. Not even like the top youngest or anything. Top 10. It was Kurta.
Is that during each season?
No. So like just the top 10 youngest
All
players
time.
all time.
Oh,
No one's broken into the top 10 of that list in 4 years.
well.
There's a stat for you.
Adelaide's youngest is still T-Boy Camera from God, whenever it was 2010 or whenever it was.
But I assume you won't see clubs like Sydney, much in that top 10 because, again, they've got more stability. They're going to rely more on the experience.
No, Christian. This is top 10 just for
Just for the
victory.
victory players.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I misheard.
Yeah.
Not
Just
even
for
the whole league.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I thought you were going by the whole competition.
Nah.
No, it's worse than that.
Oh, shit. All right, that's terrible. That's disastrous, really. Jesus. I tell you who was a good youth product from Victory that let go too soon.
Who's that?
See if you can guess, Lockie.
Sebastian Pasquale.
No, he's one, but not one I'm thinking of.
Jay Barnett.
No,
Nah, he was rubbish.
he's.
He had a lot of chances at victory. He never
I'll
really did
give.
anything.
I'll give a clue. It's a defender.
Franco Lino?
Yep. I thought he had so much promise.
But also he got
games
taken away for that promise, right?
Yeah, and look, just they didn't play him enough, and
Oh, offside!
Oh,
Offside!
It's got to be offside.
I don't think he touched it.
No, he did.
He had to have touched that.
Was Caltac playing him on?
He might have been.
And even if he did touch it, is he interfering with play?
Yes, if you touch the ball.
If you touch the ball,
it is,
absolutely.
Yeah.
But no, if the ball's already going in.
No, because
It doesn't matter.
You've
Yeah.
played the ball. That's not an interfering with play. Then you've played the ball in your.
Oh, it's Fei Zhao.
It's Fei Zhao. Yeah, tracking.
It's
the
still
runner.
close.
But no, it's onside though.
Oh, it's so lucky.
Is it though? Like it's they've had good passages of play.
Yeah, no, but that
Mariners
in
have
that
struggled
moment.
defending out wide. Yeah, in like it's one moment of luck, but you create your own luck. You know?
Wu Lee with 2 goals, right?
No, it was
Just one.
Ung Lee was the first one, I think.
Right.
What their centre back.
That's after like 20 really good minutes from the Mariners, really.
Yeah.
Kevin Muscat's laughing inside while he takes a sip of his water. Job's done here. Job's done, lads. Let's make some subs at halftime. Oh, they're checking the goal.
Mariners.
But yeah,
done
he's
that.
checking. Let's remember as well, an A-League side has never won in China, period.
Really?
Has Victory not won
Ever.
there against Guangzhou?
Look, I can't tell you I've checked them myself. but
Yes,
this-
I think they did. It was like 3-2 or something. Remember that crazy game?
Matt
Wait,
Olsen gave me that stat the other day, and I don't doubt his knowledge of AFC football.
No,
so
I'm doing my research right
go
now.
for it.
Do you remember? I think it was Broxton who scored the winner or something like
Quickly.
that. Do you remember that
He's
game?
got the answer.
I know we've beaten Shanghai Port before, but that was in Melbourne. And Kev was managing that game. Yeah, Clutch says, I think this hurts the chances
my
of
screen is
Mariners
just
winning
frozen.
9-1. You lost your game feed. Or yeah, you're lagging up a storm in the video call as well.
I'm just gonna reload Paramount. Nice, that's good. My internet.
The delayed reactions are hilarious. Yeah,
I
you're
stand-
struggling a little bit.
I stand corrected. Guangzhou won that game 4-2. I guess who was playing for Guangzhou? Diamante.
Really?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
I think
Guangzhou Evergrande.
I think Marcello Lippi was still the coach at the time. They had a stacked team then. Surprised that Victory even scored 2 that night. Broxton was one on the score sheet.
Oh, the Proximole.
Oh, you're right though. We did beat them at home. It was 2-0.
I accept your apology.
I don't apologize. I haven't even apologized for my prediction last season when I said Adelaide to come
Greenback,
second on the
but
table.
I think I'm still lagging pretty bad.
Yeah, you are. Oh, no. I just know that if you do reload the Riverside as well, you're going to really mess up the template I got going on. Hold on. Don't quit just yet. Let me make up something ad hoc for a second. All right. If you need to leave and do a quick reload, I'm ready.
I'll do that because I'm just running a speed test now, and these speeds that I'm getting are just absolutely diabolical. Like,
Excuses,
this is, like,
excuses.
worse than a third world country.
Christian, don't talk, mate. Careful.
Yeah, at least I'm consistent with it.
I know, but to be fair, Jacob's actually taken over the technical difficulty issues in the last week or so.
Has he?
Oh, they're breaking again here.
Ooh.
Oh, close. I wonder if Kev will take Oscar off at halftime, or like some of his better players.
To be fair, he hasn't been as influential as I would have expected, but he's been more of a wide position,
Yeah,
wide areas, and even sometimes centrally, but a bit more up top where he hasn't really influenced the game. Well, you mentioned Lockie, maybe he would have played in a more deeper role, but to get on the ball a bit more and create. But
did I
not
mention
to be
that?
the case. Yeah, before the game. When I said that Oscar started in the lineup, it said that he was playing more centrally.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I mean, he seems like that ball player that, will drift deep and drift wide, drift wherever he can to actually get on the ball. Go on, Moragas. Oh, you got to find a way to reward that run.
Not a yellow card, no, nothing. Okay. Nice, ref.
Yeah, I agree. Commentator. He would be lucky if he escaped without a yellow card.
Here we go. Don't give a yellow. The good. If they gave a yellow for that, I would have thought. Can we end the stream at halftime? Just
No. They're going to make a comeback. We don't want to miss that footage.
If Jacob can't rejoin the call, then we're ending it. That's it.
Why? I'll do it solo. I don't care.
Because I have zero faith in this Mariners side.
Well, because Jacob isn't here.
No, not just because of that. Just the game in general.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
They were looking.
hope it doesn't turn
alright.
into a snooze fest in the second half,
Yeah.
where the Shanghai might take a couple of players off and rest them for the games on the weekend.
Halftime 2-0. All right. Well, that was extremely disappointing. Let's say. Clutch says everyone knows Mariners are a second half team. They're going to need a hell of a second half here.
Well, they're a second half team. If they rely on a red card like they did against Victory, they'll have to be relying on
To see out the 2-0 loss. Oh, dear. They weren't a million miles off for like parts of this game.
Yeah.
Just that middle portion, the early goal really stung them. They moved to the 3 out of the back, but in the build-up phase. Jacob's back, so I'm going back to my cool scene transition. There we go. Oh no! Now your name tiles are wrong.
You stuffed it.
Christian, I need you to leave as well and come back.
I was going to grab a tea as well anyway, so
Go
I'll
on.
be back in 5.
Yeah, go on, do it. All right, we can do the halftime show. Damn it! I had the nameplate.
I reset my router, so hopefully it's all good now.
Your router?
Router. Well, I'm not an American. I'm not going to call it a router.
I thought router was like the router. Router? No, I'd always say router.
And then R.
Root. Route. Yeah, that's true. I'd always say root, but then I'd always say router. Anyway, football happened. Will says, just taking 4 games into a season for a first win also carry over to the Champions League. Potentially. I mean, now if you lost this game, you would be technically 4 losses out of 5 to start your season in terms of competitive fixtures. So maybe you turn it around. Clutch says 3 goals is light work. Let's hope so. Monique says, as a Mariners fan, I take offence to Christian's comments. Quote, believe. You can believe all you want.
Mm.
It's just hard to find optimism, to be honest.
I mean, it's like you were saying, there was that like 20-minute period where it was decent for the Mariners, and it was those runs and balls in behind that were looking the most threatening, and then they just sort of stopped it, and they let the pressure mount again back on the defense, and then a goal scored, and it sort of ruins the momentum that they had. And it was the same thing against the other Shanghai side, where they had those really good moments and passages of play, and then they'd concede a goal, and then their heads would drop again, and they wouldn't be able to sort of lift. So, yeah, it's a tough one, because they do have moments where they look good. It's just nowhere near consistent enough, and it's little things that are, first touches, distribution from the back, marking, like just these real simple fundamental things that are lacking with the Mariners right now, which is not something that you would have said, last season before that, is that they were technically and fundamentally a really sound football side. And now that it seems like they've lost a little bit of that, and that's where a lot of their problems are coming from.
Yeah. On the idea of belief, I mean, we know this Mariners side last year, they could go down early in games and believe that they could come back from it because they'd done it before, and they knew that. But I reckon to a certain extent, some of the players in this team, they know that this isn't the same Mariners team that it was last year. They know and they believe that a lot of players have gone, and they believe that a lot of new players have come in that probably aren't up to the level. They believe that the cohesion as a squad isn't quite there, and they believe that is fact is that, travelling in Asia in this premium competition is very difficult. They know all those things, so... I don't think they have the same mental drive to be able to come back in a game like this as where they maybe could have last year. And Aaron says last year's Mariners squad... Sorry, go on.
I was going to say, we saw Mikael Docker getting, really annoyed at one point because of probably similar things, where he sort of came to expect last season a different standard, and it's not there seemingly at this point this season. And it would be frustrating as a player to have gone and won a bunch of trophies to now looking like you might not even get any points from your first 3 matches in the Champions League Elite. There's a tough spot to be in as a player, and that's where it falls back onto the coach to make sure that you're getting the mentality right, and that you're getting the guys ready for the games, and that they're all focused and minds on the same thing. Because if you let these things creep in, that can really just derail a whole season for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Aaron says last year's Mariners squad would do okay at this level, being gutted, and it's showing. Yeah, absolutely. Perth Glory makes me feel better about this year's Mariners. Yeah, man, that was horrific on the weekend, wasn't it? That was not a good football team, and it showed.
No.
Watch them go and beat Wellington this week, though.
I really like them. Yeah.
Would you say though that you like the coach and the potential play style more than you do the actual playing squad though?
Possibly, but I do think that it's a squad that last year we kind of liked as well, and what they were doing last season with staying in games late and scrapping for wins and things, and and they seem to have improved upon the squad that they did have. But that first game looked anything but that they'd improve, right?
To me it just looks like they've just changed their squad. I don't know if there's a marketable improvement or disimprovement. It's just new. They got no idea what's going on.
Well, then now the rumor, if it's to be believed, is that Taggart might be on his way out.
Really?
So
where's that rumor come from?
Yeah,
I'm asleep at the wheel
today. Take a guess.
Oh, okay. I'll see it before I say it, but yes. Adam Taggart. Search. Latest. Exclusive. Nicholas Lennon. Perth Glory are actively trying to offload Adam Taggart due to his current wage. The club are hopeful of a January departure. Hopeful of a January departure for the golden boot. You want to get rid of your golden boot, the guy that wants to retire in Perth. I really hope that's not true.
It's a very un-Perth move as well, worrying about the wage bill. It's, I know that in the past it's not been a concern of theirs particularly, sticking to the limit. So
Monique asks, what's Jacob's Premier League team? I think you're going to be a bit bored with this answer.
My Premier League team is hating the refs. That's my team.
Arsenal.
Goodness.
We're both Arsenal. It's funny. I say this all the time in our like group chats, but Jacob is such a logical person, except when it comes to talking about specifically his football teams, Adelaide United and Arsenal Football Club. He goes delirious. Like, he loses all semblance of like a rationale in his head.
It's it's a problem, But, it's just because I'm a fan. Like, I'm a fan.
You care, yeah,
those
of course.
Teams. I've supported them my whole life. So it's Adelaide not my whole life, but since I've moved out here, it's like a part of me. So yeah, I don't know. I will be more level-headed when I'm reporting on Adelaide United games. That can be guaranteed, because I'm not an idiot. But as a fan,
good to know.
I'm still very, very passionate about them.
Of course. Ooh, another tweet I've just seen come through the timeline. Western United's partnership with Red Bull Australia is already delivering. Some epic pre-game entertainment is lined up for their home opener. The Red Bull Extra 300-litre aircraft will perform a, quote, mind-blowing stunt show before kickoff as part of an event day that also includes ... a petting zoo, carnival rides, and fans on the field at full time.
A petting zoo? Wait, petting zoo?
Yeah, they got a petting zoo out in Tunny.
That's incredible. That's amazing. I've got to do Western United away just for a petting. That sounds awesome.
The petting zoo. Hopefully, you can actually see the jet though.
Like the Auckland slide.
Yeah, the Auckland slide was good, but then they had like the Newcastle plane that went overhead, and no one could see it. Like, they didn't have a camera lined up. Apparently, you couldn't see it very well from the actual stadium either. Surely the Red Bull guys are more organised.
Yeah. Well, those Red Bull ones, I know they like to... They fly quite low as well, and they like to twist around, and so
nice.
I'd hope that,
Christian's back. Bang. Christian, they're going to have a petting zoo out in Tarneat this weekend.
What was that, sorry?
They're going to have a petting zoo as some pre-match entertainment out in Tarneat.
That's one way to go about a pre-match ritual.
They also having a Red Bull plane do some, quote, mind-blowing stunts.
Oh, those Red Bull planes.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's hope it translates into 3 points. Who they got this week?
The Wanderers.
The one away from home?
Wanderers.
Or in Tunny? Oh, in Tunny.
Yeah, with the petting zoo.
Sorry, the petting zoo.
They're going to take all their home pre-match entertainment on the road.
The travelling petting zoo.
That's the Sunday 4:00 game, isn't it?
It might be, yeah. Monique says, as a mum who takes young kids to football games, never underestimate the power of a petting zoo.
Yeah. I would go and have fun with the petting zoo. That sounds awesome, honestly.
Ooh, they've also posted a picture of Cooper Stadium. Looks like a carpet, that pitch. They've got like some diagonal lines going on.
It is.
The Wanderers sent a photo before the derby as well. The pitch was really well laid.
Yeah.
It was good, yeah. Nice green pitch.
Suncorp Stadium will be fun.
Yeah.
See what they get up to. Monique says, so as Arsenal fans, are you conflicted by any success Ange might have? Honestly, no. I'm straight up cheering for Ange. Like, I know Jacob is the other way.
Fake Arsenal fan.
Well, I'm not conflicted because I just know that Tottenham aren't going to win anything, so it's all right. Like, it's fine. It's not a problem there.
Ange always wins something
the problem I have is
in their
that
second
Ange
season.
Ange is such a likable guy. Like, that's the problem that I have. It's like, I don't want to like a rival manager, but he just is so genuine. And
Yeah, but it's not as hard as for you
I
because
respect that,
you're
and-
not a real out and out Aussie. Like you'd support England ahead of Australia. So for you, it's a bit like it's easier. Whereas
Yeah.
Lockie's got that Australian tie, so it's harder for him to make
yeah.
that distinction.
Apart from North London derbies, I just outright cheer for Ange.
Yeah.
Even then, if they score in a North London, there's still
I
a
was
little
going to say,
bit of
no way. You are such a softie. There's no way.
I can't explain it. It's just what Ange is doing is so cool, and the way he's flying the flag for Australia, I just can't help but get excited about it.
There's a piece of you, like if Tottenham score in a derby, I get what you're saying. You feel good for him. Like you're supporting him still, obviously.
Yeah.
You want him to do well.
Like before, I would despise when Tottenham scored a goal, but now it's just like, damn, I really want to win this game, but also I know there's the silver lining of Ange having success, right?
Yeah. Random topic change, but are you guys fans of peppermint ice cream?
I thought you were getting tea.
I changed last minute. We're in.
What sort of a question? Where is that? What? Oh, mate.
Can you see my screen, or I've got peppermint ice cream?
Yeah,
in
you
front
can
of me,
we
that's
can
why.
see it.
Yeah.
Have you just got a tub?
I am a big fan. Of
Have I got a what?
ice cream.
Is that just a tub or is it like a bowl of?
No, it's a bowl. It's a bowl.
Okay. Nah, technically,
Obviously-
I don't
Not a
like ice cream
complete
that tastes like
barbarian. Come on,
toothpaste. Actually,
Fair enough, actually. I wanted to go for tea, but it's 30-degree heat over here in Melbourne, so I thought, nah, too hot for tea. Might go
too
with
hot for
water.
tea.
It's
never
about-
too hot for
It's
tea.
been 30
it's
degrees
about
today.
24
It has
degrees
not been
today.
30 degrees
It's
today.
like
Has it
80%
not?
humidity.
Nah, no way. It's been 30 degrees.
It's been hot. We've had a couple
Oh my
of
god, it was a top of 30 degrees.
degrees.
Oh my God, a top of
32,
30.
33.
This kid.
To be fair, I haven't been outside today.
No shit. No shit. It seems like it.
It really didn't feel that warm though.
Yeah, apparently. You must have the aircon inside all day. No wonder.
Nah, I honestly don't.
Huh?
Honestly don't. Damn, that's crazy.
Just a well-built house.
Yeah.
I just hate like when it starts getting warmer and then it's hot at night. I cannot stand that.
Brutal.
Like why is it still like 25 degrees at midnight? What's going on there? Just please stop. I need to sleep and I can't when it's that hot. Like it's
Apparently, I've just been informed that Simon Hill went on a good spiel on the global game tonight.
About
About the,
us.
I think about coverage of the game in Melbourne.
Oh, what about it?
Just none of it. There were no games in Melbourne. I kind of understand.
There were.
Hopefully they promote the derby. Anyway, Christian, before we get into the second half, Monique's asking, do you have a Premier League team?
I don't. I hate the Premier League, to be quite honest with you.
He's a Serie A man.
I've got an Italian background, so I don't get into this Premier League hype. I go for Milan, AC Milan in the Serie A. So
Best
there
league
you
in the
go.
world.
Second best. Corrected you. I'll admit EPL was the best, but
Nah, A-League's the best. What are you talking about?
true.
Yeah.
How could I forget?
Honestly, is the best league in the world. Real talk. Not the best
Yeah.
football, but it's the best league.
Yeah, for memes, meme content. Yeah, the best.
not even. It's just good fun. Like, and that's what you want.
It's
from,
great fun.
Like, I
course.
think it's rivaled by other leagues in terms of memes, like the Polish First Division, the Ekstraklasa or whatever it's called. That has a whole subreddit dedicated to it because of how just insane things are that happen during games there. Like, there's other rival meme leagues, but the A-League is just fun at the same time.
Yeah.
I was talking with Chris on a recording for his new show today, and we were talking about Lucas Moragas two-footing Patrick Kisnorbo on the sideline, and he asked me like, "How do you even describe that?" I'm just like, A-League. It's just that's just A-League.
Yeah.
So good.
And the fact that we already had a meme moment with 20 minutes or 30 minutes in with Patrick Kisnorber getting slide tackled, like you can't even escape it. It's just everywhere. You can't even escape a couple of rounds without something funny happening.
It's insane.
What was that round last week where everything completely fell off the rails? Remember that round where it was just meme after meme?
Yeah, I can't remember what happened, but I remember us talking about it. Like
there was something about a team bus. Then during the game, there was an open goal miss and all of this different stuff.
Was that the one with the kits where
there was a youth team
Wellington
that
didn't have the right kits or something, and
something like that? Yeah.
Oh, and there was like a youth team that had to wear the away kit for the opposition's team. So it was like the Newcastle Jets against the Newcastle Jets or something.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Who was the Sydney player who missed that open? I think it was against the Mariners.
Was it Patrick?
Patrick Wood.
Yeah. I think it was that week. Just the memes just kept piling up. It was just hilarious. Just non-stop.
Oh, no, you're right, Christian. It was a Wellington game. There was confusion because obviously they didn't wear their home kit at home all the time, which they do this year.
Yeah.
But then someone had to like go and drive on a bus somewhere to go get the kit. And
That's
bring it
right.
back.
Yeah. You've got it. Jeez. A shit like that, like only in the A-League, honestly.
Careful of that tongue, mister. Family-friendly show over here.
Sorry, bleep that out.
It's live.
No, for the post live stream when
Bleep it out yourself by not saying it. Like, what's?
let me eat my peppermint ice cream in peace, please.
Oh dear, Shanghai 3. Oh, by the way, the second half's kicked off. If you didn't know,
Yes.
we do have the clock down there, so hopefully you figured it out.
I thought you guys were just behind substantially. 4 minutes behind.
We're just 4 minutes behind.
Yeah.
I've got a potential workaround here where I'm watching the stream on my phone on my data, so hopefully that keeps my internet for my PC a little bit more stable.
That's commitment to the cause. I respect it.
Yeah. No, I don't want to leave you and Christian. That's off. That's going to be a hard watch for people. So
Oh, jeez. That's right.
Hey, we survived for the 30 seconds it took you to rejoin.
That's true.
Oh, hey, we're on Caltech.
You had a shot at Paletti as well earlier this morning as well, Jacob. What's with you today?
Dude, I just in that sort of a mood.
They should be just wrapping up the first recording of the Dubcast at the moment. I have the fun job of going off to edit that after we finish tonight.
Hi, are they passing off the editing?
Yeah, editing's still me. It's fine. Paletti's going to give me notes. And it shouldn't take me too long.
Is that the first part of the season previews for the
I think they're recording both of them tonight. But yeah, first part released tomorrow.
I believe they have a special guest as well. I'm unaware who. You might have an idea, Lockie.
They do. You know what? Let's leave that as a little teaser.
Keep it secret. I was going to say keep it secretive. Yeah. Is there any clues, like a former player, current, or commentator? Any clues? No.
Let's
Too hard to say.
a well-known Australian WOSO person. Let's say that.
Okay.
Let the intrigue
Cloned
flow.
themselves.
Clutch says Dubcast hype. Yes, Dubcast launch tomorrow morning or tonight for you. I mean, it will be up in 5 hours. Clutch, I can tell you that. Whatever time it is for you, 5 hours.
I saw Clutch on social media a couple of days ago was saying there was a lack of content for the dub in terms of season previews, all that stuff.
Coming.
So
It's coming.
just be patient; it will come right to you.
It will. What's happened here? Who's got a yellow
I
card?
mean, given his writing skills, he could always just do one himself. So
Clutch, yeah,
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
hilarious.
it's good.
was
That was a
really
good
good read.
piece. Well written. I actually quite enjoyed that, to be honest.
yeah,
Especially the Perth MacArthur little section. It was good. Good read.
Looks like a little more aggression here out of the press.
I was about to say the same. Like, there's a bit of initiative there from the front, sort of almost four.
Oh, no foul?
It's a little bit higher.
I was going to say.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, how far ahead is he?
What are you guys at?
51.
Yeah, I've just
I'm
got
at
51.
I'm at 50.03. No,
Oh, yeah, we got him.
Oh, we're way ahead of him.
I've just refreshed.
Yeah, cop that, mate.
So I'm on 51.05. I'm probably still behind them.
I'm
Yeah.
51-15.
I'm 51-15.
Refresh it.
So it's Lockie, then me, and then Christian.
Oh,
Oh,
good
here
block.
they come.
Good block.
51-24.
Yeah. So Christian and I are
pretty
now the
bang on.
same.
Okay.
How do you just do that? Anyway.
We just refresh the page.
I swear whenever I refresh, it doesn't actually do anything.
I accidentally closed the tab at halftime, so that explains it.
Corner here for Shanghai Ports. Well claimed, Keeps.
Yeah.
It's got to be scary if you're Lucas Moragas. Like, you just... Oscar's staring you down on the ball.
Yeah, and you've got a yellow card already. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez. They're toying with him now.
Yep.
So let's play with the tactics board a little bit. So let's go. What are we dealing with in possession here? So is Rue tucking in now?
A little bit more.
And Mirage just being the one to
Just
go.
playing a lot higher, yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
Oh, ball in.
Price.
Oh,
Hit it, Rue. Oh, how do you not hit that first time?
it was so slow coming down as well. It was just
Oh.
an eternity.
Who was offside?
Was it the ball, the pass to...
The first one.
No. Oh, here.
Oh, the
Right, it was
cross.
the-
Did it go to
that
Emerson?
first cross
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
it was. Clearly.
coming back from an offside position. Yeah, taking that touch just lets the keeper close the angle down. But to be fair, he's not an attacker, so...
True. All right. I think this is somewhat correct. So this is kind of what the Mariners are aiming to do in build-up. You got the back three with Rue, Tap, and Caltac. And then... Yeah, and then you got McCalman and Still as the pivot, and then Moragas gets high, Docker drifts wide, and then Fajiao kind of comes into a central area with Qual and Edmonton.
Yeah.
They've definitely looked much better at like this.
Definitely.
Oh!
Oh.
Has Cole just falconed himself?
He's handballed
No, it's handball.
it. Yeah. He knew it straight away as well. He stopped playing. He knew.
It's a good ball in from Storm Rue.
Did Shanghai
yeah.
make any subs at halftime? I completely missed it. Or no?
Let me have a look. I don't think so.
Again, this is another of those sort of
Oh,
spells.
go on, Rue.
Oh.
Oh!
Jeez.
That actually wasn't bad.
If he scored, I would have been mad because I've got him in my fantasy team. So save your goals for the actual season, buddy. not the Champions League.
That's true. I actually need to go respond to that trade request.
Jake,
Some tough
lucky
matchups.
in fantasy.
Lucky?
What was it? 30
Lucky.
points from Jake Holman?
No, I got 30. I got
Yakul-
33 from Jackalish.
Oh, that's
yeah,
right.
A third of my points came from one player. That's
Absolute
not luck.
joke.
That's. I said during the draft, I was like, I'm doing this where I know it's head to head. I'm not going to go for consistent medium point scorers. I'm going to go for inconsistent point scorers who have that game in them where they can score 30 points. And it's exactly what happened, and I win it. You know, it's not going to work.
Mate,
it's not going to work every week.
Jacob,
but-
you predicted a 0 or 1-0 result for MacArthur Perth, and you've somehow pulled it out of the bag. Don't lie. Sam, you expected it.
hedging my bets. Hedging my
Yeah.
bets.
Hopefully
That's
you win
smart.
something.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. Well, and I'm not specifically saying that Jackalish was going to be the player to perform. It could have been any of the ones in my team that could have been the ones to perform. But that's sort of my general aim is to.
Ooh.
I was going to say,
The old Lewis Dunk there from Storm Root.
yeah, with the predictions game, I reckon I'm due a vote to kick things off. I was looking at all your other predictions, the group.
Well, let's just say wait and see when that gets uploaded because
Yeah.
Oh,
I
true.
bet
Yeah,
us.
you weren't in it.
there
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
some
I bet
fiery debates there.
I
There
better,
were.
because not too many people got one particularly correct from memory. Will got 2 out of 3. He might be close for 3 votes, but besides that, I don't. No, he didn't get a vote.
Will
He will not get a vote.
That.
Just
will
wait.
not get a vote.
Just wait till you
wait
see
and
the
see.
video.
Mate, if Will's not in the top 2, that's an absolute joke. That's a joke.
Video
my
coming
goodness.
out on Thursday.
Oh my
Hey,
goodness.
Will also is in the chat saying I can smell something cooking here. Yeah, interesting. No subs at halftime, by the way. Nicholas says, "Hi team, huge fan from Sydney. I listen to both of your podcasts each week. I admire your consistency, your takes, your dedication, and push to improve the landscape of football in Australia. Bravo! Thank you, Nicholas. We do appreciate that. We do try and be spot on with our consistency twice a week and make the best show we can. So we appreciate your support and everyone else's, of course, as usual.
No, only Nicholas's.
Only Nicholas. You're the only fan we care about. No, we got Clutch in here as well. Clutch and Monique, they're like 2
Clutch and
OGs as
Monique,
well.
Yeah.
Aaron, I know you. I see your name a lot in these chats as well. Nah, the real hardcores. Pod's doing quite well today, though. I think
Nice.
had a little check earlier. It's always a bit unreliable on day one, but it's almost at 300 already, which is pretty good for day one.
Pretty good considering Jacob was on the pod.
Way.
Nice numbers.
If anything, I'm a draw
Jacob.
card at this point, aren't I?
Nah,
I think you are. You are.
Yeah.
Well, I'm approaching my 100th episode, so surely I've got to be considered someone.
Well, you would be if you didn't bail on us yesterday, you know.
Yeah, I know.
Ooh.
It was like 91 or 92 episodes I was on about a couple of weeks ago. Then I completely lost my train of thought, and I thought, "What am I on?" I've completely forgot what number I'm on. So it's still a surprise again.
You know the numbers are publicly available. Like it's very easy for you to go
Literally
look.
just go on the Excel
For your
spreadsheet.
the personal ones,
Yes.
you've actually got it written down.
It literally.
even noticed
Okay.
it.
Oh, Christian obviously hasn't put his availability in a
I
while.
haven't- I've barely touched it, mate. Honestly,
Yeah, you all just wait for
Literally
me to
spreadsheet
send out a
with the
ping
numbers
every
on
week.
it.
yeah. Which you do though. Oh, here we go. Can't attack with
Oh, why not Caltech? That was
Great
good.
tackle.
No, but to be fair, Lockie, you do send out, before.
I
before
do
the
out
finals
of
day, you say-
necessity. I do out of necessity because people wouldn't do it. And look, it's not a bad thing. Like we make do with what we can. But I'm just saying, if
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what, Lucky? I'm going to go and put in my availability right
thank you, I appreciate that. Saves me some work.
Yeah.
Can you check how many episodes I'm on, Jacob, while you're at
Check
it?
yourself!
If you're on it right now, then you might as well just check for me.
I'm on it too, and I'm not telling you.
Oh, far out. Useless you are, honestly.
All right, it starts with a 9.
It's faster than I. Thank you very much for that relevant info. At least I haven't already reached the 100 mark. That's good. Good to know.
Oh,
Oh, it's a goal!
Oh, what a hit!
What a...
is that
who's
Docker?
that? Docker.
Oh, what
It
a
was.
goal!
What a
2-1.
hit. Well in, son.
Again,
That's a
I need
banger.
that- I need that for my fantasy next week, thanks.
Left shoulder of the box, just outside curler, far post and in.
He was given so much space that they just stood off him.
They have been standing off there. The defenders literally ducked out of the way of that as well.
What a strike.
That's
What
great
a
hit.
goal. All right,
post.
30
So
minutes to go. At least it's a little bit earlier than what Maragas's was in the first day.
Lucky,
second.
you wanted to abandon the stream at halftime. You're a disgrace, man.
Nah, that was you, mate. I can roll the tape. I can roll the tape. Clutch says incoming 2-0 win, 9-2 win.
9-2
There we
win.
go. Damn, that's a
that
finish.
shot, that had a bit of Thierry Henry about to that hit. The way the ball moved in the air there. Whew.
Oh, keep your Arsenal bias
Go
out of it,
back and
Jacob.
go back and watch. Go back and watch the Thierry Henry highlights. And
Will saying, told you I smelt something. Nicholas says, I'm very excited to see how Sydney do tomorrow. I think we are vulnerable at the back and are good to concede a few chances a game. First real test tomorrow. Yep, 100%. I agree with you. And we said this actually after both of their ACL2 games. In Eastern, despite the fact that they scored so many goals, they actually conceded the first few big chances of the game. And they did so again against Eastern. Or Kaya?
Easton and
Kaya was the second one.
Kaya, yeah.
They did so against Kaya, and Kaya actually punished them, and they got the first goal. And of course, they won easily. But if they get that against Sanfrecce, Hiroshima, they are going to struggle. So yes, defense is definitely the whole. You've got superstars up forward. Christian's finishing his ice cream off.
I'm done.
You're done. But yeah, no defense, absolutely. All right, here we go. A little bit of life. A little bit of life back in the game here. Half an hour to go. Really added nothing
that.
from Mikel Docker.
Needed that.
I'm checking where Sanfrecce are on the J-League table.
I think they're third or fourth, somewhere around there.
They're first.
Are they first? They got to top spot, have they?
Yeah. 1 point ahead of Vissel Kobe.
Big test then.
Well, then, do they even play a full-strength team?
Perhaps not.
Possibly not.
Does Tolgay Arslan even play? He didn't play the last game. They actually almost lost.
Oh,
what a save.
Did he got a touch on that? He did.
Yeah, that was keeper saved that.
Ball in from Docker. Qual does well to get there. Flick on. Oh, yeah. Acrobatic save.
That's one of those ones where you're always saying you just need to get a foot on it. And then he does. And the keeper still saves it.
It was kind of like his goal in the AFC Cup final, just the other direction.
Here we go. Yeah. Yes, he saved that.
Offside.
No.
Anyway. Offside.
What a save.
Far
this
out.
keeper is earning his paycheck.
Having a blinder.
Wow.
Oh, he's just standing in
He's so offside. He's so offside.
in no man's land.
Jeez. Wait, who is that?
Very good question. Who was
That was 30. Who's 37? Maybe there has been a sub.
Some
Victor
random
Vejau's
pulled off the street.
For,
Is it Brantman?
Brantman. Yeah.
Oh, I completely missed that. FootMob takes ages to upload its substitutions.
That's why I use SofaScore.
Nicholas says regarding Sydney FC, very true. Even against Wanderers, we were very vulnerable and have been against teams with youthful and very quick strikers. No matter how bad the team is, we are a ball over the top from going in behind. 100%. And you play very aggressively, right? So it's a risk versus reward. That's all it is. And, you're getting lots of possession in the final third, but the trade-off is that you're exposed on the counter. And it just depends if the other team can really take advantage of that or not. But, of course, like against Eastern and Kaya, Tele asked them to do that even more so because they know, almost a third for Shanghai. They know that teams are going to sit back against them, right? So, they know for 90 minutes they're going to have to really push to score goals on occasion. So there's even more risk. But in Sanfrecce, you can imagine they can be a little bit more responsible about how they get numbers forward.
Yeah. Sydney as well now, this is the other thing, is they've got a youthful defence as well. So you're going to be more prone to mistakes with Popovic and Matthews as the, centre-back partnership than if you have a more, steady veteran presence. And we were talking about that in terms of what it means for the Mariners if Kautak sort of loses his touch. Does he get to a point where you can drop him, or do you risk losing that, that presence in the heart of defence who can control and sort of marshal the defensive line? And Sydney don't really have that. I mean, you got Ryan Grant, but he's the wider player, so it's a bit more difficult there.
Come on, Mariners, let's go. Qual is such a random guy, man. Like, he can come up with such moments of brilliance, and then like that, he doesn't realise that the ball's coming to him until he's like 2 meters away.
Sometimes it's his first touch has let him down quite a few times now that I've noticed.
Yeah, he had that one against Victory, right? He just kind of like,
threw on goal, and he just took a really soft touch and let Valadon get back and tackle him. Like,
yeah.
it's just.
But he's just had so many moments as well where you just think this guy must be good. And you get a transfer to Stuttgart for a reason, right? So it's funny. Yeah, that's football. Nicholas, absolutely. I think we may lose both away and home, but after the group stage, when we improve the chemistry and fitness, we have a really good chance, even though it's much harder this year. Yeah. No, Sydney FC should absolutely be targeting to win this competition. You're right. It is harder than the AFC Cup because there are Japanese, there are South Korean, and Saudi Arabian and Iranian teams when you get to the end. UAE as well always have good clubs, so it is definitely harder. Out of the groups is an absolute minimum. You probably want a quarterfinal as the par for Sydney, but because specifically Sydney have such a good squad this season, so a general A-League expectation should be to make quarterfinals of the ACL too. But for Sydney FC, they should be trying to win it. Full stop. Absolutely.
Have you kept tabs, Lucky, on the other side of the bracket? So the Saudi clubs. I mean,
Nah.
Who are the ones who really stand out as the main challenges if Sydney do get to that stage? Because
Are you talking about the ACL too?
Yeah, ACL too.
Let me have a look. I will admit, especially early in these competitions, I tend to just focus on the East.
On our bracket, yeah.
Let me have a look at who's there. So on the East, at the very least, you got Bangkok United from Thailand, Jeonbuk Hyundai, who is the team that the Wanderers have loaned Jong Tae-wook from.
Yeah.
They're in here as well. Lion City Sailors, which
good side.
Bailey Wright, I think, Australian. Then obviously Sydney and Sanfrecce. And then over in the West, there's not actually a lot of names jumping out at me. In fact, none of them. Yeah. Al Wakra actually is a name that for some reason rings a bell.
Is that Craig Goodwin's club?
No, that's a Qatari side. Is that not Trent Sainsbury's old club?
Could be. Yeah, I think you might be right, actually. I think you might be right.
Anyway, there's none of those big Saudi Arabian superstars teams in here.
So point is, Sydney really should be aiming to win this thing.
That's a yellow card there for Quo. Gotta be.
What did he do? Yeah. I wasn't even watching.
He just stood 2 yards in front of the free kick and then just blocked it.
Oh, he's just going off.
Oh, he's going off anyway. Okay, probably escaped the yellow.
That's why.
Yeah.
Duarte.
Didn't try and get it out of the way, just stuck his foot out to block it.
Okay, Declan Rice.
No. Don't get me started.
Nicholas says, I've been keeping tabs. The main challenges are Shabab Al Ali on the west, and in the east only has one or two teams. I wouldn't say that on the east. Sanfrecce, obviously, deal with in the group. Definitely Jeonbuk. But then Lion City and Bangkok, don't underestimate them either. How often have we seen A-League teams go away into Asia? And, Melbourne City is a prime example. They lost one game across 2 campaigns of the Champions League and didn't get out of the groups on either occasion.
So, yeah,
never easy.
Al-Wakra, former club of Trent Sainsbury and Isaias as well. He played there for a couple of seasons between stints with Adelaide. So, a couple of A-League players have been there.
Mark Jackson doesn't agree.
Surely, Danny Schofield to be the one to argue with the refs after his performance in the semi-final last season?
Yeah. 20 minutes to go. Come on, just get a point. Get something to just inspire you.
Yeah. Obviously, that goal was huge because you can see the Mariners have something to play for now. And without that,
Bit of a spring in their step.
would have just died a slow death, I think, in this game. But
Mm.
looks like they, excuse me, might put up a bit of a fight now, so that's good.
But again, it was
Oh,
just
nice ball.
such a slow start again with away from home against Shanghai in that first game. Was it who was the first game they played in Shanghai?
Yeah, it was the Shanghai.
Yeah, the other Shanghai team, yeah.
Yeah, like another slow start there, and it just off the
Moragas cutting in, hit it.
Nah,
Oh,
Good effort though.
it's just being unable to settle into the game, and it's really cost them because they get into the second half of games and they're right in it. Even in the game where they lost at home against Birmingham, that goal late on, they were really pushing, but it was just too little, too late. So for a whole
That
90
kind of
minutes,
came out of nowhere.
It did, yeah. I guess, that game was sort of the Mariners sort of conceded defeat in a way.
they were asleep, weren't they? Really, let's be
Yeah,
honest.
they were.
It's
It's all starting to flood back now. How bad they were in that game.
Oh, what a finish
such a
that
good
was.
hit, such a good hit.
Nicholas, I'm really hoping Caceres gets a call up for the next round of qualifiers. I'd keep waiting if I were you. It will be interesting to see how Popper sets up. I also hope Nestory doesn't get phased out moving forward. Yeah. I know Caceres often gets talked about as one of those players that, like, probably one of the best Australian players that's never gotten a Socceroos cap, and I can see where that argument comes from, but there's just so much competition in there at the moment. Especially when we only need, now in this system that Popovich plays, you're only kind of looking at 2 rather than 3. Oh, Emerson, good turnover. Doesn't amount to anything. I don't think Nestor is going to get phased out either. It's just he needs to have a little while to train in this new position that Popovich is asking him to play.
Or he's going to have to adjust to, like, going back to being that sort of super sub option, right? Like,
Yeah.
we might need to check, like, if it doesn't work, all right, let's change something up. Let's bring Nestor on because he's explosive, dynamic. We know what we're going to get from him. We'll change how we are going forwards a little bit and have him a bit wider. Because this is the thing, right, with Nestor is he likes to play where he can be isolated and in space. Whereas when he's being asked to play in that half space, it's a bit more congested, and because his big thing is he's so powerful, right, on the ball, off the ball. He's just, everything is so powerful about him, and you don't get that in congested areas. It's not as easy to do. So it could be. I mean, he'll adjust, right? He's playing with one of the biggest clubs in the world now. Fantastic coaching and training, staff and facilities. He'll be fine.
Oh, we're in Kundarole. All right. Come on, Mariners. 15 minutes. Will says Caceres peaked at the Mariners. Changed my mind.
I don't think you can ever change Will's mind, to be honest.
I barely remember him at the...
Tap just got absolutely skinned alive by that guy.
He did.
Some more changes. I think that's his final sub for Kev.
I wish on the scoreboard they had the amount of subs that they've already made.
And Windows.
Like they do for... Do the Premier League have it on the scoreboard?
Nah.
Serie A does. That's why it's the best league.
Oh, goodness.
Great. You can track your substitutions.
Yeah.
Oh, it's good though.
You need to, because it's the only thing that's happening in the game.
That's worth not having
De
Kevin
Bruyne.
substitution.
Ooh.
All right, smart asses.
I'd rather just good football, to be honest. But...
well, you don't get that from either Adelaide United or Arsenal, so...
Arsenal plays
Arsenal
beautiful football.
Beautiful. Yeah, to lose 2-0 to Bournemouth. Great football.
Okay.
How many games have AC Milan lost this year, Christian?
Yeah.
One, I think, to Liverpool, and that's it. I think.
One.
Nah, joking. We lost to Chakati's Palmer as well.
Yeah.
Disgraceful. And a couple in between, which I
Oh
won't
man, you
mention.
just reminded me that he did his ACL. So sad.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Sorry, this comment from Will. 2014, Anthony Caceres, Streets Won't Forget, played so well he earned a move to Manchester City. The Paulson clause.
That wasn't even the best Caceres to play in the A-League. Adrian Caceres was the GOAT. Changed my mind.
Adrian Caceres.
Changed my mind. I believe he played for Mariners as well. I think he moved. Because it was Victory first.
Don't know.
Yeah, he did. He started at Perth, went to Victory, went to Mariners, and then he played for the Phoenix.
Oh, that's a poor turnover.
It's not great, is it? They've been a bit more sloppy on the ball this half. Quite a few turnovers now. And that was something that I pointed out in the first half that they weren't doing. They were so good on the ball and making passes, but perhaps even they're feeling the pressure a bit now.
Oh, careful, Caltech. I just don't know what the good of that ball is. To Storm Rue? I guess you got Emerson in the hole there for the second phase. I guess it's not that bad. Matt Simon go, hey, well, how long, ref?
I did see that.
I love that they've got him and Vuka like on the staff as well. That's a really good thing.
I think we'll see more clubs starting to do that as sort of the legends retire, and you know, I can see Adelaide for one will definitely be a club to do it. I mean, they already have done with the Carl Viet, right? I mean, he's now the head coach. You know, Eugene Glakovic is there. Isaias, by the sounds of things, will join the coaching staff next season as well. So it's
I mean, it just helps, like especially in these transition years. I think for the Mariners, like when they have so much turnover, like. You know, what is a club culture when, you know, half of the really good players move away? So having these players stay on in a staff capacity definitely helps. Harry Steele. Oh, Eames is on.
Yeah. Try and inject a bit of something into the midfield. But I do agree with what you said a while ago, Lockie, that the Mariners look a little bit more assured on the ball with a back three. It does just seem a bit easier for. It's probably because it's what they're used to. So it's you know, that familiarity.
And they got those two deep midfielders that are really comfortable receiving in tight spaces. It just works.
Yeah.
All right, taking over into the 80th minute shortly. Not many chances left. Come on, still a point. That's what we want, yeah. Still a point.
Shanghai haven't really done much the second half, have they? In terms of going forward? Not really. And look, Muscat probably thought, okay, I could probably take a couple of my good players like Oscar off in the round, you know, the hour mark. But now that the Mariners scored that goal, it sort of makes things interesting. You've got to keep your best players on, try and see out the result, maybe even get a third.
I wonder how much he cares about this competition. Like, I'm trying to get into his head a little bit. Because if he committed to another go-around with Shanghai? Because if he's not, then he surely has an offer to go to Europe at some point, right? So then he doesn't get to finish out this Champions League season just like he didn't with Yokohama, right? Yeah. But then I'm thinking if he is committed to staying around at least another season or even half a season with Shanghai and finishing off this Champions League season, then he might actually have a bit of a chip over his shoulder for really watching Yokohama get to the final without him, right?
Mm. And then that's a silly foul to give away. Brantman did so well there to hold up that ball and win that duel. And to just give it away with a silly, silly foul.
Yeah. I think Muscat will stay. for another season. I've just got a feeling that he'll want to continue the project. I mean, if a good offer pops up that it's too good to refuse, then it's a bit of a different story. But for the meantime, I think a hunch just tells me that he'll stay.
There's been a lot of talk about Rangers. Obviously, he was passed over last time. They're looking for a new manager. I don't think he would go there. I honestly think he's above that now. I don't think he can gain anything from going to Rangers.
This is the disrespect for Rangers.
He's just going to go there and finish second, and he's not going to earn anything.
Oh, what's that mentality? Why can't he push them up to first?
Because Celtic exist.
Yeah, Steven Gerrard took Rangers to first.
When Celtic were not good.
Yeah.
So it's Celtics to lose. That's the thing.
Yeah, but why can't Muscat's football overthrow?
Well, because knowing Rangers, he'd join them and then they'd just go bankrupt.
Yeah, true.
So
go down to the second and third division. This is the fifth
iteration of Rangers in the last 10 years. Or
yeah,
something.
They've had 100 different logo changes.
Goodness. Well, there was one where they went bankrupt and they ended up unable to pay a face painter or something that they hired for a club event, and it's just absolute shambles. At least we don't have that going on in the A-League.
It's just a shame for Muscat because of that allegiance with Rangers, that because the Celtic availability would have been open. I'm saying if he wasn't associated with Rangers, that would have opened the door for him. But obviously you can't take that.
Can't quite follow Ange in that way.
Instead, Harry Kewell's rewarded with a role there instead of Muscat.
I reckon he'll get a good championship side at some point.
Who's this, Muscat?
Yeah. I reckon that's the kind of level we're talking about.
So, I mean, it's not outside the realm of possibility.
Maybe Millwall.
Yeah, that would be
Maybe get Danny Tiato as his assistant. That would be a real combo, wouldn't it?
Reliving the glory days.
Oh, that's a nice ball.
That's a good ball. Those switch balls are something that, you don't realize them until they're done well, if that makes sense. You can pick that out, but 9 times out of 10, it's hit one side or the other of them, and then they have to move to adjust it, and nothing really comes of it. But when it's hit perfectly to the player, they just take a touch and.
Crab Sun says, good that Western can pay for the petting zoo.
That's what happens when you get your own money from having your own stadium.
Yeah.
That's the benefits of it, isn't it?
Splash the cash.
Yep.
Get the goats in. Maybe it's that goat from the Paramount ad.
Maybe they can afford a couple of face painters as well.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Surely. All right, ticking over 85 minutes.
Are you thinking of going to Tunhead a couple of times this season, Lockie?
I'm thinking about it, yeah.
Have you been before? No.
Nah.
Yeah, I'll definitely make the trip at least a couple of times.
If it lines up, I'll try, yeah.
I have not planned any away days yet. I want to do a few, but
surely
do the victory
round ball meetup.
I want to do victory.
Yeah.
But that's not till March, which kind of sucks.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Of course, there's only one this year.
I think it's the games are January and March or something, and I'm like, oh,
damn.
I want something in the front end of the season to get excited about. But yeah, I'll probably do victory away again, and I was kind of flirting with the idea of Unite round, but with work as well, it might be a bit difficult.
Where do you usually stay when we come over to Melbourne for the victory
in
games?
A hotel in the CBD.
Or Oscar.
3-1.
Oh, that's a great finish. That's the dagger in the coffin.
That is a great finish.
Nail in the coffin? Yeah, dagger in the hearts. There you go. So studs him in the hearts and then put him in the coffin.
And then put them in there.
3-1.
Good move, to be fair.
Yeah. It's just a quality finish, eh?
Yeah. not a lot you can do.
Look at the Mariners just backing off. Come on.
It's late. Okay, hold on. I think we have to be a little bit fair here. It's late in the game. They've been pushing. They've travelled.
That's just an unreal hit.
It's just a great finish.
Like, there's nothing anyone can do about that.
I know, but that's what you get when you back off, though. Those chances are going to come. Like,
Yeah. Even if you step up, though, maybe they skin you and get a free shot.
Yeah. Well, even if he steps up there, there's still so much space between him and Oscar. It's I'll put that in the back of the net.
Well, that seems like
Not Oscar, sorry. What's his name that scored? Vargas.
Vargas. Yeah. Seems like the final exclamation point.
This is very similar.
It's getting weird. VAR's gonna look at it.
For what?
Not a good enough finish. It's only counts as half a goal.
Because the Mariners backed off, disallowed.
Yeah.
What are with these substitution boards? Where's the electronic?
What is the fourth official complaining about? Yeah, he's having a go. He's having a crack. He's like, why is he not coming off?
Come who?
Come.
Everyone looks as confused as each other.
Qual's got no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Well,
he's just like,
it's Ngor.
He's like, this is like...
they've already sent Ngor on and then...
Right. That makes sense.
That's quite funny. Ngor for Rue. Sorry, Ngor and Rue for Kuzevsky. I've never seen him before, and Ngor.
Well, you're about to see him for 3 minutes.
Plus at a time.
That won't be much.
Well, let's get your reflections on the match. So as soon as the whistle goes, we can turn the stream off.
Good idea.
Go on,
Honestly,
Jacob.
it's reminiscent of that game against the other Shanghai team that they had, where they have good spells, they score a goal, and they can't seem to get a real foothold in the game. I don't know if it's a confidence thing, if it's they're just not as good as they were last season thing. It's just something feels off about them at the moment. The things that have worked for them have been when they've played with the back three in possession, they've had a decent press from the front four, and they've tried to force those turnovers. And when they were doing that and Shanghai were turning the ball over, they're able to get on the ball and turn and go forwards. And that's where we saw a lot of their chances in the second half come from. But since obviously it takes a lot out of players to be pressing with that intensity, but they sort of step off and Shanghai get a bit more of the ball again, and it just sort of slots back into, they lose control, they can't really get much going, and then all it takes is just a fantastic finish like that from Vargas, and that's game gone. It's gone from looking like Mariners might try and find a second to, well, they're going to lose 3-1 now, and it's a problem for them. I still see glimpses in their play where they look really, really good, but it's little mistakes of fundamental things, of first touches, of bad passes, of defensive mistakes that are sort of holding them back a bit. And it's something that needs to be ironed out. If they want to win, you need to be clinical, and they just haven't been so far. And yeah, it's a bit of a shame because they were so entertaining to watch last season, and they seem sort of a shell of themselves so far. But
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't start off last season strongly either. So we've mentioned this before. Do you dare write them off right now? I mean, I kind of am starting to, because while I'm seeing good stuff, it's not consistent enough, and I don't think they necessarily have the players to be consistent enough to do it. Like we were talking about Qual, fabulous player, but he just makes little errors where he shouldn't be, and he should be getting chances and scoring goals that he isn't because of like a poor first touch or whatever it might be, or he's not got his head up, so he takes a shot rather than laying off a pass, or I just don't think there's the consistency there at the moment, and that's the big issue for them. They're not able to sustain it for more than 10-15 minutes at a time.
4 minutes at a time here. They have got into the box a little bit. They've passed it around. Ngor cleared away. Whip back in, cleared away.
Have a hit, son.
Go on, Ames. Switches the play actually quite nicely.
That's
over
a
to
good
Miguel
switch.
Docker.
Take a touch, beat you, man.
Play him. Oh,
Oof.
that was a nice idea, but nothing there. Look, I think, and I expressed these concerns to you guys at the end of last season. Just really worried about how this would go because of the nature of the league. They're going to get their best players stripped away. And honestly, Christian, I think this is just going to be remembered as another Champions League top-tier campaign by an A-League side that is just utterly forgettable.
Yeah, because at the moment, we touched on at the start how the rest of the remaining fixtures, it's not looking as though, there's a lot of easy games there where you say, okay, yep, that's 3 points there, that's 3 points there they can pick up. It's going to be a real dogfight to get these wins on the board. They only need about, 8, 9, 10 points, so we're still yet to know. But to be second last on goal difference already, it's not looking good. And just to analyze and sum up the game a bit myself, I mean, to concede a goal after 90 seconds, to bounce back from that away from home, it's difficult in itself. But to their credit, I thought there was a 20-minute spell in between that first half around 10 to the 30th minute mark where the Mariners really did look promising. They were getting into attacking areas. They were really threatening to the point where Shanghai were actually dropping deep, probably deeper than what they anticipated or hoped for, which is a credit to the Mariners and their attacking influx on the game. But at the same time, like our criticism has been of them in past games this season, once they get to that point, it just breaks down. They just lack the ideas, the final product, to actually finish off their chances. Because if you don't do it, then teams like Shanghai Port are just going to capitalize like they have done now. They only need that one chance at the end of the second half where they haven't really even been creating much in this second half yet. Get that sort of one clear-cut chance and then they just punish you. So just little mistakes, turnovers here and there. Even the first goal they conceded, just a silly turnover from defense and the clearance that could have went anywhere. Like you said, Lockie goes out for a corner and then from there you're just playing catch-up already. So, yeah, a lot of improvements for the Mariners because even against Victory, they were playing at home and I wasn't overly impressed with them up until the red card and then obviously expect them to dominate from there. But, a lot of soul-searching, I guess, for this Mariners side if they want to, really improve and try and, find their best form.
Yeah, looking, Duarte's in.
Good finish.
Once again, they've scored a goal in the whispers of full time. There is approximately 40 seconds left on the clock. It's 3-2 Mariners.
I'm seething because I predicted Shanghai 4-1. Damn.
Well, I can tell you around the grounds that Guangzhou is up 3-1 over Johor, so they are now 5 points clear. This is Guangzhou at the top of the table that you can see on your screen now, plus 3 points onto them. Of course, many of the teams still yet to play their third match day fixture. I guess we have somewhat of a game on our hands for 30 seconds while it's being checked by VAR.
This is what I'm talking about, though. Like that needed to happen in that spell that they had after the Docker goal, where they were on the front foot for 10, 15 minutes. That's where they needed to get that goal because, obviously then it would be to all and it would be a different story. But they do need to capitalise when they are on the front foot, which they just haven't done.
It's a corner.
No way.
It may be the last kick of the game. Could they somehow scrape a point?
Where's the keeper? Get the keeper up. Come on.
Honestly, even if they did get a point here, I'd give them no credit for it. It feels like just a little bit of happenstance that they've managed to get 2 goals.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right, referees. Yeah, he wants a header too.
The way he was jogging in there made it look like the keeper joining a corner there, which is
Yeah, don't worry about getting the keeper up. Get the ref up. Yeah. Oh, the keeper is up as well. They're both wearing black, to be fair.
They are both wearing black. I didn't think you were allowed to. I thought
someone's
you had to have a kit different to what the referee was wearing. But
yeah, that does sound correct, doesn't it? All right. Well, there's a Shanghai Port player laying on the ground, holding his face.
They're still going to have the corner, mate. It's
All right, here we go. We're set. Mikel Docker over the free kick. Keeper is up. Last chance for the Mariners. Ball is high. It's long to the far post. Kaltak across the face.
Oh,
corner.
Another corner? Yeah.
It's gone out for another corner. They will have time to play it.
Don't do a Garner and play it short. You've got to play a proper corner here.
The team's reset. It's a quick take. It's poor. Doesn't beat the first man. It's cleared away. Whistle is in the mouth. That's full time. 3-2 loss. A dramatic finish. that is it. I don't think that goal really changes too much of our opinions on how things went. You've heard our reactions there. We're going to sign off for now. We're going to break down this game in more depth on Friday's episode of the Roundball Australia podcast. Jacob Stevens, Christian Monskin, thanks for talking footy with us tonight.
It's all right. It's always better to watch with other people to complain with than just on your own.
Would have been. We actually have to stop them because I think we're bad luck. We haven't had a Mariners win yet, so we might have to stop these live streams.
That is true. Oh, they're doing a little lineup here. That's nice. Oh, the Mariners have no idea what's going on. They think it's a lineup to shake hands, but I'm pretty sure it's a bow, right?
Kevin Muscat's giving Mark Jackson some advice, some coaching advice.
All right, thank you all, everyone, very much for tuning in. We appreciate your comfort, your support. Monique's